My name's Chris.
And I'm Kristie.
This is the Washing Up Podcast, and we've sent somebody home again.
Woo!
So we seem to be like the angels of death.
I'm just getting into the spirit of Maggie Beer being on and just being excited about trauma.
Yeah, those who didn't watch Bake Off this year, first of all, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what are you doing?
You've got to go and revisit your life choices.
Exactly. Look, you go and do a week's worth of trial of Foxtel and,
watch it.
When you've done that, just go and just bulk watch all of it. And you'll get to see things like Maggie Beer delighting in villages being crushed under lava on a volcano cake. It's great.
Smashing the London Bridge.
And not giving you too much, but one of the greatest innuendos I've ever heard anyone say.
And let's not... Oh, yeah.
That was it. I'm not going to tell them what it is because you've got to go watch it because I can't do it justice because you expect us to say random shit.
Not to mention when she gives you side-eye if you use the wrong olives.
Oh, boy, when you use the wrong olives. Isn't that right, Robert? Or if you put bubblegum in things.
Ugh. God forbid. It's like putting chorizo in something.
Hello, Emma, the original OG.
Let's just chili it up.
Chili it up. Yeah, don't put chili in things either. But anyway, we had Maggie Beer in tonight, which is good because, again, for us,
Maggie.
it's Maggie. It's everyone's favourite person in the world.
Yeah.
I believe.
She's come out of retirement. She just came straight from Stately Beer Manor.
Stately Beer Manor. She's out.
In the Maggie Copter.
Yep, the Maggie Copter, took her from Stately Beer Manor. Vergis 101, I believe, is the rego plate on that copter.
I'm surprised that she didn't send Michelle, just to see if the whole of Australia would be fooled.
Exactly, just sort of two places at once.
Yeah.
But or maybe there was a Bake-Off thing at the same time, and she sent Michelle's to that.
The Bake-Off one.
Maybe, quite probably actually. That's far more likely. So you've got Maggie Beer tonight, and we'll get to Maggie in a minute because we've got to start with last night. And we weren't obviously around last night. That's why we're doing. Yes, Hasadiga Ibawai, indeed. We were at the Book of Mormon, which was spectacular and wonderful and brilliant.
And I've been waiting for it for 5 to 6 years. And it was everything I needed it to be.
Exactly, it was wonderful. It was wine, it was roses, it was sunshine. It's everything you want it to be. So
except for children.
So our view last night was of Masterchef was, not Masterchef, although I did log on to Twitter long enough to see Kira once again. There's a goal this year to make sure that the image of George fighting a fan at the football makes it into every night's tweet of Masterchef.
It's a noble goal.
It is a noble goal, and so far Kira is flying.
Yeah, she's there.
So good, but she's so consistent. So we got home last night.
She's wearing the green and gold, doing it for Australia.
Doing it for Australia. It's a service. It's public service. So we got home last night and decided to sit down. Very long day again. And thank you to those of you who gave us feedback and listened to the Washing Up Presents This Is Sydney calling because we were up at 5 a.m. for that thing, and it's actually going very well. So thank you, everybody. So from 5 a.m. to last night, it was about midnight by the time we'd finished everything, which is why there was no podcast.
No.
But we sat down and we settled in for an episode that I'm reading Twitter going, looks like it was a good one. And it was a really good one.
Crack-a-lackin'.
It was crack-a-lackin' indeed. So we sat down and were ready to sort of watch, what the hell was going to happen. And it was a mystery box.
Yeah.
And not only was it a mystery box.
It was a mystery box.
It was a mystery box. Double mystery. Does that make it actually... Does a double mystery like a double negative makes it a positive?
Yeah, that's what the M in the mystery box you found stood for.
Mind blown.
Yes. Yeah.
So...
But my comment was you don't want to call them golden arches.
Someone will sue. So they opened up the boxes, pulled up the boxes, and Sashi had the M. And what that means is that some intern lost it and they're fired.
Yeah.
Or he got to pick what went in the mystery box. Now...
Yeah. Now, I'm presuming how they do that is they generate a random ballot, pull someone's name out of the hat, and that's whose box
That's how they do it. That's whose box gets it. So they draw a random ballot out, and that's whose box gets it. So Sashi won. Now, there's a couple of things. First of all, if you've ever listened to Around the NFL podcast, and I'm assuming that nobody here has, because why would you have? But there's a great little audio clip that I plan on using a lot more during this year.
Are you going to use it now?
No, I'm not going to use it now because it's hard to. I didn't have time to drag it up, but I'm going to get a sample audio of it. And it's literally, there was a former general manager in the NFL called Sashi Brown, and every time they mentioned him, it was like, ladies and gentlemen, Sashi! And so every time I heard them refer to Sashi, it was Sashi! And it's just, I couldn't stop. I was just sitting there and like, what are you cooking? Sashi!
Last you hear it was Benita. Now it's Sashi!
Sashi!
Got a few.
So he got to pick. Now, what I thought was really interesting about him having to pick what was in that, we all know how that normally goes.
Yeah.
Really badly.
It does. It usually just fucks you up.
The mystery box always goes poorly. And
no. The old system of, you win the mystery box, whoop-de-doo. Now you get to pick an ingredient to use. Whoop-de-doo. And then you fuck up.
And then you fuck up and find yourself in elimination.
So they've broken the curse this year by rejigging it.
It was really clever, and I liked the way they rejigged it. It made it somewhat useful. Yeah. So what happened was that in the mystery box challenge, they picked the 5 people. They did the bit of drama with Sashi where his chicken was undercooked. And he's like talking about the fact that it was this big sort of moment of, will Sashi's chicken be cooked or not?
It was so undercooked, Netta was going to use it as a prop for her Eurovision
performance. Exactly. So what we saw was stress over whether somebody in the Masterchef kitchen could cook a chicken. Just think about that. Because he was talking about this stress of, is it cooked or not? And I'm like, it's like a chicken, bit of chicken. It's not even a full chicken. It's just a bit of chicken there, dude.
Masterchef really does remind me of a theatre sports game that we used to play, which was commentating, like ordinary like things. So there'd be 2 people that were the commentators and another 2 people who were acting out like an everyday thing, like it might be ironing or digging a hole. And then the commentator's going, oh my God, they're picking up the shovel and it's into the dirt.
It is a bit like that. So Sashi won. Actually, Sashi won the challenge because his chicken, it turns out, was cooked.
Yeah, perfectly.
Now, what they did to rejig this was, I think, they got sick and tired of the poor bastards failing. So they just put him straight through.
Thank you. We like the positivity.
They just put him straight through. Yeah. You're an immunity, dude.
He turned his double positive into a triple positive.
Triple positive. Yeah. That's 3 positives.
Yeah.
So then we got the second challenge.
Sashi time.
Sashi!
I'm going to get sued for that one too.
So Sashi went up to the gantry and got to watch and also got to eat some of the food later on, but we'll come back to that in a minute, which was a special moment for Sashi. But he was up on and it was great because he was up on the gantry.
Yeah.
And he just got to sort of banter with everyone by himself. Just on the gantry, bossing everyone around, telling them what to do, lording over the kitchen, Sashi.
Lord of the gantry! Here's your crown, your majesty.
So we had a situation where they had to do the hidden challenge as well. Right, so the hidden challenge was the next one.
Doesn't mean that they go into the pantry and hide, and then George and Gary and that have to go and find them.
Quickly
behind the parsnips.
It's always behind the parsnips. So before we get to that, just quickly, I did need to raise one thing out of the other challenge, which was boxing chicken. We're inventing things now.
Well, it's an invention test.
He seemed to think... No, it was a mystery box. He seemed to think...
No, the second one was the invention test.
Yeah, but he did the boxing chicken in the first one. It wasn't...
Oh, that's right. You're right.
What's hidden in boxing chicken apart from what the fuck it is?
Okay, sorry. Yep, you're right. It was...
So what he did was...
Mystery invention.
So what he did was... It's called boxing chicken. And like you saw the 3 judges go... Boxing chicken.
I think the Colonel calls it popcorn.
Is it Kung Pao chicken? No. Boxing chicken. And everyone went... Sure. Okay. All right. Boxing chicken. Fine. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was because a really...
He goes and helps troubled youth box to get
He does, and that was the thing. I'm wondering if he called it boxing chicken to give them a segue into his video package. Yeah. He was going to call it something else completely, and they've gone, you mentioned boxing.
Oh my God, this is how... Okay, imagine if Tim from Big Brother got on MasterChef, right? Instead of having to like gaff tape up his face, he could just name the dishes after thing. This is my Free the Refugees soup. This is my Menace Island must be closed down roast.
Free to refugee. So, can you smell the dish properly? No. So then we got... Oh, we also got a bloody spoon tap, which...
It's a little naff, but they've got to have a thing.
So the surprise on a plate. Now...
Ta-da!
I thought that somebody possibly could have served George a payslip. With correct staff payments. Never forget. But outside of that, you had to cook a surprise. Now, I thought that everybody's favourite Meat Bay did a really good job with his egg inside an onion skin.
And then the restraint. He's like, Matt and Gary were telling me it's all about restraint, so I'm not adding the onion soup.
Yeah, he kept the onion puree out of it and didn't put it in there, which looked like a good call. To be honest with you, the one thing I looked at that plate and thought was really good was the salsa verde.
I was also really glad he didn't drop the plate, because you know why? It might have sounded like Boom Crash Opera. Whoa, onion skin.
Turn around with the egg side in. So we had the egg, and that was a really good one. They had Meat Bay charging himself into that.
Yeah, the salsa. No.
Then we had your favourite person, and she got herself in there.
Yeah, full fucking fledgling, like fledged, so fully fledged Kristen just rocks up. It's like, boom, bitches.
She had like a million things going on, and there was lots of panic, but she pulled off every single element.
Yep.
To a very high level.
Technically, she went scrumping. Okay?
She did go scrumping. It was basically scrumping.
She could have called it scrumpling-licious.
But what she did with that...
Scrumping-licious.
What she did with that strawberry, it looked incredible.
Uh-huh.
It looked amazing. Yep. And apparently it was really good.
Bit of nasturtium in there. So she had the pepperiness of the nasturtium, a bit of balsamic vinegar, strawberry. She knew her flavours.
She knew her flavours. And again,
what she was doing.
Understanding your flavour profile is really important.
And executing like it's like Paris in the late 1700s.
Well, that's one for the history buffs. Now, what wasn't quite as good as all of those dishes, however? Okay, so it's a surprise challenge.
Ta-da!
Now, if I say to you, Kristie...
Yeah.
That I'm making us a berry cobbler.
Well, I'd be surprised because I think you'd make an apple cobbler. But
I might make a berry one.
I'm like, okay, bring on the berries, yep.
All right, so I'm making you a berry cobbler.
Yep.
What's going to be inside a berry cobbler?
Berries.
Okay. Can you tell me how berries inside a berry cobbler are a surprise?
It could be very meta.
No, Meta didn't do that.
Like,
Meta went with meatballs, and that was a mistake and a half.
Like she's going for a bit of, what's
Samira's gone, I'm going to do something surprising. And they went, what's the surprise? And she went, berries.
Yeah.
And they looked at her like, it's in the name.
Yes. But it's like... She might have been going for, what's that theatre style called, where everything's really abysmal and
a boarded up theatre restaurant of the mind. Okay,
so it's that. It's disappointing and stuff. So what she is like surprise cobbler. What's the surprise? There is no surprise.
No. What the surprise was, it turns out, was that she didn't cook it.
It's raw in the middle.
Raw cobbler.
Salmonella.
Raw cobbler is indeed a surprise in the Masterchef kitchen. So you can probably suggest that Meta made the meatballs, and what the hell was Meta thinking? They weren't very... Look, I love Meta. He's a great... Looks like the sort of guy you want to hang out with.
I reckon if he's cooking that Hakka cuisine, it'd be fucking phenomenal.
And like, what Meta did was, if you looked at the drinking card, and we'll talk about the drinking card shortly... He did committed one of the cardinal sins, which was the judges all came over and went, should you really be doing that? Why don't you just make one bigger meatball and just sort of simplify? And he looked at them and went, no, I'm doing two.
Yep.
And they walked away going, oh, God. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, it bombed. And then Michelle tried to make the really thin eggs, and they weren't having it.
No.
You know, they were in the moulds, they went into the blast chiller, and you know what? They weren't having it.
No.
She pulled them out. There was no way she could actually seal them together, and there's your bottom three.
Yeah. Well, who I was proud of was Hodder, because, like, this time of the game, you just need to cook well. Yep. You just need to pull things out that you're comfortable doing, and I think it was Gary who's like, oh, you need to expand for things that you just wouldn't cook in the kitchen at home. And I could just see her looking at him like, because that's got some people so far today.
Well, my thing on that is, and we talked about it the other day with a certain bake-off contestant. She should be a bake-off contestant. Was that it wasn't even about doing baked goods. It was the fact that she did dome and then another dome and then another one. And she's just done the same thing, vary it up a little bit. Like, keep doing what got you here, because in the first couple of weeks, this is what you do.
But be prepared to change that shit up.
You want to be in the montage of mediocrity for the first 4 weeks.
Yep.
You don't want anyone to notice you because there's no expectation.
You want to be in the montage.
Yeah.
Montage.
A cooking montage. Montage. So,
be the best.
So we ended up with Michelle, Meta, and Samira in the three.
And the next entrant for Azerbaijan.
and Azerbaijan's Eurovision entry.
But I love Samira's story about how, you know, when she came to Australia, she couldn't speak English, so she was watching cooking shows, including Maggie Beer.
And then when Maggie Beer walks out, I know her! Okay. Imagine this. You don't really know anyone in Australia, so you're still learning, and you're like, I know this person.
Yeah.
This one I know.
Her and the chef.
Now, obviously, her and the other guy who looked more professional but wasn't as good. So, before tonight's episode, we released the week 2 drinking game. Now, this is good for the whole week, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not just for tonight.
Look, it's Monday night. You probably can't afford to get easy.
Much like a puppy, it's not just for Christmas. It's for Easter as well. Yeah. But much like that, this is not just for the Monday night. This is for the rest of the week. So use this game card however you wish to. If you used it tonight, we had a few hits.
Here we go.
The contestant has a disaster looking away from the pan oven for a minute. Well, Michelle, who not only had a disaster on the burner, but then put her pan onto a separate burner, which was also on.
It's kind of shit I do, though.
And at the same time, she poured verjuice. So she hit 2 because verjuice, middle square. Somebody makes an ice cream. Look, I'm going to give everyone a pass tonight.
No.
Because Maggie Beer made it part of the recipe.
Exactly. You make an ice cream.
Actually, no, I'm
4
not going
times.
to. No, you know what? I'm not going to give it a pass. I'm going to suggest that Maggie Beer did this deliberately.
She goes, what would Chris and Kristie?
What are they going to do on the game cards?
Game?
She's seen the bake-off cards, maybe, possibly, I don't know, who knows. And, that's what she's done. A judge is unsure if blank is going to finish on time. Yeah, well, we had a couple of those with them worried about that.
Meta.
Contestant ignores a judge's advice.
Thanks, Meta.
The judges do their spoon tap. Nothing made them do the spoon tap tonight, so you're okay there. A judge tells a contestant to remember this moment. No, that didn't really happen tonight either. Contestant can't believe that blank is there in the kitchen. That definitely happened. So we only had 3 squares, really.
Yeah. And even that one where, the ignoring the judges, it was more they were ignoring the gantry. Yeah, 5 times.
Yeah. Meta, you haven't done that. And the other one was, Michelle, take it off the burner. Michelle, take it off the burner. I have. She's just put it onto another burner. Michelle,
take it off.
Take it off the burner.
And put it onto not a burner.
Put it onto something that's not on fire, okay? If you don't want it to burn, try the not on fire thing.
Try the cold one, not the hot one.
Yeah, don't put it on the fire thing. So with that, in we go, and we go in with the wonderful hoarder of butter herself.
Oh, dragon hoarder of butter.
The dragon hoarder of butter, fresh from Stately Beer Manor, Maggie Beer.
Oh, yes, indeed. Here she comes.
In she wanders. This butter trailing behind her.
It's just butter sprouting. She's like Persephone, arriving for spring, but behind her pops up butter and verjuice.
Now, there's a couple of things we need to note about the Maggie Beer entrance. First of all, we have to talk about the Masterchef account.
Okay, so Chris is going, the Masterchef account keeps putting up the gif of Maggie Beer, like, entering. I'm like, okay, that's weird. About the second time or third time he said, I was like, they're trolling you.
We got to about 7. Every time I mentioned the word Maggie Beer, and it wasn't a bot. It wasn't like they were looking for the word Maggie Beer and just tweeting it back.
Comments.
There were very appropriate comments they were targeting, and I called them out on it and went, well played, and they went, okay, you caught us, and changed up the GIF. And I'm just like, well done.
Should have stuck with it.
Well done. Well done. I applaud you, social media for MasterChef Australia. I applaud you.
We need to give them a name.
We do. We need to come up with something. So
MasterChef, come up with a name.
If you've got a suggestion, please, feel free to let us know what we should call the person running the MasterChef account, because we need a name for them.
Yeah.
Also,
Master GIF,
maybe that's the front runner so far. It's one of one.
Something like that.
Now, those of us who watch Bake Off,
yes,
were thoroughly confused to see all this bulla everywhere.
Oh, it's the wrong brand.
Now, Kira at one point tonight asked if we could replace George with Maggie, and the answer to that, Kira, is fuck off. Maggie belongs to the Great Australian Bake Off, and don't you forget it.
No, can't wear her out.
Right, we love Stately Beer Manor Zone.
Yeah.
And she also is not beholden to Bulla.
No.
# you ought to be congratulated. And for those of you who don't watch Bake Off, you got no idea what the hell that's in reference to. And for those of you who do, that's a shout out.
Maybe for Bulla, we now do Ripperita.
Ripperita. Okay, every time we hear Bulla, Ripperita. So it just felt really weird to see a Bulla commercial and not a Devondale ad.
Yeah.
It just felt I was ruined.
But Maggie's going, it's all butter to me.
It's all
you
butter
peel
to
it
me.
away, it's all golden on the inside.
And before you all sit there and go, but National Treasure Maggie Beer would never do something horrible, she made contestants cry this year on the Great Australian Bake Off. She made people cry, so you didn't know. You didn't know. And what were they making? They were making her Tatan.
Yes,
now, her Tatan, which just makes it sound like they're stuttering and they can't really get the words out. What are we doing? My Tatan.
It's like the younger Will Smith, sometimes they're getting the nervous and stutter.
Tatan. So we had that, and we saw a couple of things happen. We saw Meta not read the recipe, and again, Bake Off rookie error there. Again, this is where MasterChef people need to watch Bake Off, because a rookie error. Read a Maggie Beer recipe really carefully.
That said, though, we had two people, non-English speaking people, read. You know what I mean? Like the English is a second language, I should say. Reading instructions in English.
However, Samira, who obviously loves Maggie Beer, just nailed it. There was not a moment tonight watching that episode where I feared for her in that kitchen.
I'm now thinking Samira's going to become Maggie Beer's Robin.
She's going to move into Stately Beer Manor.
I don't know what she's going to do about her kids.
Her stately ward.
Stately ward.
Stately ward Samira.
Yeah. Maybe the ward lives separately.
Yeah, with her family. And her children. Yeah. But yeah, Meta, he kept on folding the pastry even though the gantry was telling him not to.
Yeah.
Everyone else put their pastry in the fridge and let it sit. There's Meta turning it again. And the look on Maggie Beer's face when Meta walks over and he goes, how many times have you turned? He goes, 5 times. And you just saw this look of horror cross Maggie's face. What have you done to the butter? My recipe is ruined.
She goes into Goku mode.
She starts singing MacArthur Park. Someone folded the pastry on the bench. So all the sweet yellow butters melted now. So Meta was in trouble from that moment on, and he needed to make a comeback and he needed to make a charge.
Don't call this a comeback.
He's been here for years. But then we had the Michelle moment where they were trying to get the colour of the caramel right. And they talked about what colour, and then Samira's gone, I know what colour it's supposed to be. And she looks at Maggie and goes, it's a deep amber.
Yep.
Now, is deep amber a Maggie Beer recipe reference? Or is it a Shayna Blaze colour chart colour?
I think it's both. I think they're going to like collaborate. It's going to be the Shayna Maggie collection.
The Shayna Beer.
Shayna Beer. This is called we call Verjuice Rising.
Blaze Beer Productions.
Blaze Beer Productions. How cool would that be?
Okay. If you are not brewing Blaze Beer by the end of the year, you two, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
You're not trying nearly hard enough. Now, very early on, everyone online was going, Meta's in trouble, which was then followed by a large group of people desperately trying to pretend that everything was okay with Meta.
Okay.
Not because they believed it. They just didn't want it to be true.
Yes.
I tweeted to Kira at one point, I think Meta's in deep trouble, and she's like, I know.
I just don't think we got enough time with Meta.
No, I don't think anyone could ever have enough time with Meta. He just looked like a really cool guy.
Yeah, his smile just brightens up your soul.
And speaking of people that brighten up your soul, Michelle was having a bit of a crisis of conscience, and she couldn't work out what she was doing, and there was Maggie.
Oh, yes.
She was talking her through the recipe. She talked her through every point. Even for Maggie Beer, she was being really nice to Michelle.
It's like Maggie Beer is like the cooking show chaplain. She just goes around bench to bench. How you going? Want to, have a little pray to the Verjuice gods with you?
I know another chef. Bit funky. Bit out there. People thought he was a bit weird. A bit nutty.
But look at Heston Blumenthal now.
Now he's got people spray with one hand while they eat something that looks like the bolt from a car from another. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And people called him a bit crazy. So, and isn't there a lesson in that for all of us?
Okay, it's
a Maggie Beer sermon. Statement on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount of Verjuice.
So speaketh the beer.
I wonder if Stately Beer Manor is sitting atop Verjuice Mountain.
It is.
Has to be.
It has to be.
Because there's the wide-ranging fields we know of. I mean, we all know of the fields. The free-range fields.
Or is it the Figgy Mountain? Because she's also
it's Figgy Mountain.
For figs.
It's Figgy Mountain because there's the Verjuice fields below. It's the Verjuice Valley.
Or the Quince Mountain. Mount Quince. Because she makes the Quince paste.
That's Quince River.
Quince River, oh yes.
Quince River flows through. It flows through the Verjuice. It flows through Verjuice Valley.
Yes. Okay.
Right next to Figgy Mountain. So we're fleshing this out beautifully.
Christmas time, I live on top Figgy Mountain. I live on top Figgy Mountain.
So there were a few chances for the look away from the pan moment. The caramel was the obvious one. I said Michelle managed it twice. That is a rare achievement.
But amazing.
In the same breath, she managed it twice. I don't know how you do that, but well done. They almost did the same thing with the custard, but thankfully, every time it looked like they were going to, they didn't. The ice cream, again, I'm already sick of. I want someone to break those ice cream machines snap them.
Just leave the ice cream alone, Buchanan. Everyone likes ice cream, and there's no point in having a tart if you can't have some ice cream with her.
So we then saw them get to the stressful bit. They put them in the oven. They stacked them all in. They pushed it all down. They covered the edges. They put them in. And then it was everyone watching an oven to work out when to take something out. Now,
this is usually a bake-off game.
High drama in bake-off.
Yeah.
But usually high drama accompanied by people having cups of tea.
Yes.
In Masterchef, it was accompanied by George Columbaris yelling.
This is tea time.
Yeah.
What is everyone doing?
You sit there on a stool having a cup of tea while the hosts come over and crack wise with you and make innuendo jokes.
Exactly.
And although I don't know if I'd want Colin Barris making innuendo jokes with me.
What do you call my staff? Ripped off.
Nice. But no, I think then we had a situation where in Bake Off, you know what happens here. Everyone sits down, have a cup of tea.
Yes.
The hosts come around, they make a few really inappropriate jokes. Maggie Beer doesn't understand any of them, but laughs like she does.
And unless it's a big old pie that you're trying to pull out of the oven, it usually goes smoothly.
There's no swearing.
No swearing.
So Samira pulled it out, went, I don't think so yet, and puts it back in the oven.
Michelle pulled hers out and mine's bigger.
Michelle pulled hers out, was like, I think we're okay. And then the last one, of course, when we're getting them all out, and Meta goes and takes his out and goes, I've got it out there. And everyone did the flip. And it was weird because it was silence.
Yeah.
And they flipped it. And then there was a yeah! And everyone erupted. But the problem was that you could see quite clearly that when Meta did his...
It's like,
it's like...
You tried.
Triple the size of everyone else's and looks like it's a structural component for a building.
Look, he'd heard that, girth is more important than...
Apparently. So the slick nature of the other two wasn't cutting it.
No.
So Meta's... Yeah, they looked like the apples hadn't boiled down.
Some people on Twitter were, bring up the Mary Berry thing, worried about a soggy bottom, and I've got to say this to them. It's hard to have a soggy bottom when your bottom started as a top.
Very much so. Very much so. Drains downwards. Anyway, so Samira turned hers over and it looked perfect.
Yes.
Michelle turned hers over and in beautiful, beautiful Maggie Beer parlance, it looked like it had been taken just a little bit too far. It's going for its fucking burn.
Look, it was taken so far, I think we've now got a dimensional tunnel between MasterChef Kitchen and maybe the DC universe.
That's how far she took it. Meanwhile,
the flash is going to pop through at any moment.
Meanwhile, Meta's, on the other hand, looked like it could have done with some time in the oven. And like when he did it, everyone looked and went, that pastry looks a bit thick. Turns out it wasn't the pastry we had to really worry about.
It's the apples.
It was the apples, which didn't look like they'd been in an oven that was turned on.
Or sliced in any way that would make it
really high. There was no caramelization whatsoever. The pastry looked raw, and it was like, this isn't going to go well. And now they started with Samira's. Tasted great. Ice cream was really good. Everything was great. It's like, she's fine. No problems there. Then Michelle came in.
Yeah.
And they did the cutaway before the ad break, and the look on Maggie Beer's face was, what have you done to my recipe? And then
it was olive oil all over again.
And then they tasted it, and they were talking about it's been taken too far, and then they talked about bitterness. And Gary Mann said, I love bitterness, at which point I couldn't help myself, and I went, I work with George. But it was bitter. The ice cream was okay, but they just said it was too bitter. The flavour wasn't quite there. I'm like, maybe Meta can rescue this if his flavour is... And I saw him come in and went, never mind.
Look, no one likes a bitter tart. I mean, I come from a family of tarts. I think I might have mentioned this on one of our Bake Off episodes. But you see, I laid claim to what I deem a family title, which is from Lucy Scott, who King Charles... She was one of his mistresses, and he named her the Cheerful Tart. Well, my grandmother's last name is Scott, so I just presume he meant my line.
I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Yeah, so I've just claimed it because I haven't heard anyone else.
And again,
I don't know if we have a castle or like an apartment somewhere.
Tart Castle.
Or a little apartment, surely secreted away somewhere in a castle.
Surely it's a one bedder with a 4-post bed.
Yes, little secret passage between that and one of the main bedrooms.
If it's a tart house, I don't think the passage is that secret. Anyway, so we had the judging, obviously, and Michelle's like, I wonder if I've done enough to get better. Well, normally you probably wouldn't have, but that's raw. And like Meta had a look on his face where he just sort of looked at it like, we all know what this is.
Someone on Twitter did point out it was a Goldilocks night. It's like, this one's too burnt, and this one's too far. This one's not far enough.
This one's just right. So they put Samira out of her misery early and just went, you're fine.
You're
great. That was great. And then they had the other two there. And again, you could just see Meta's, when they said to him it was you, he's like, of course it's me. Like, there was no contest. Of course it was me. And that's normally the way early on in MasterChef, is that you don't tend to get, people at the start who go, I can't believe I'm going home. They start off and they go, of course it's me. Like, I missed that completely.
Yeah. But it's not like he gave up or was shit. He just had, you know what I mean? Like, it just...
the thing is, if he'd had the oven up, I think, a bit higher and had it in there for a little bit longer,
might have had
Michelle probably would have gone home.
Yeah.
It was close. If it was cooked a little bit more, then he probably would have had it cooked enough. So, but again, he goes home, and that's a bit of an unfortunate thing for him early on, obviously.
And it's unfortunate for us too.
It is. He's a wonderful guy.
Favourite for the audience. Not that we wanted anyone to go home.
But everyone was really like loving Meta early on, and you're like, oh, this is going to be great. Not quite. No. So with that in mind, just to let everyone know what the schedule is now, we've worked out where we're going with the schedule. Yes. So what will be happening is 3 a week. Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. So we're going to do 3. The idea is that we're going to do them so that because if we do the Sunday and then the Monday, there's not that much usually on that Monday episode because they've got to be in and out like within the hour. So whereas with the other nights, you've got a bit more to talk about. And we've also got obviously an immunity challenge to talk about usually on a Tuesday. This week, we're next going to be doing Thursday. Yeah. Just to get us onto schedule. So we will not be recording tomorrow night, but after this week...
It'll be the Thursday, Tuesday.
Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Thank you. Someone knows where we're up to.
Yep, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. That's when you're going to be hearing from us. Although, again, you'll be hearing from us on Twitter all the time. We're really loving the back and forth, by the way. It's really good fun on Twitter this year so far.
Like, look, if any of the contestants want to come on and just have a chat,
feel free. We're always here. We're always available.
We won't make you talk about things you're not allowed to talk about. We don't want spoilers.
No, we really don't want spoilers.
What we'd like to know is kind of like, what was your first breakfast in the Masterchef house?
Yeah, what was the food like while you're all cooking back at the house? That's
who's the toilet hog? You know, who leaves hair in the drain in the shower? We don't want that. That's very idea, isn't it?
We really don't want that. That does sound like secrets exposed. Insiders and fellow diners. It's too soon, Reese. Is it too soon for Reese? Reese, if you're out there, let us know. Is it too soon for you? What does too soon mean? You'll never know. And with that, that'll be the end of us for tonight's episode. We will be back again on Thursday, as we said, and then we double back around. Feel free to keep playing the drinking game. Yeah. Let us know where you're going with that. Let us know how you're going with that. Let us know if you need medical assistance after that, because you could very well require medical assistance.
Or, referral to a AA meeting.
And remember, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on YouTube. We're on YouTube as well.
We're on the
Spotify, Pigeons. We've
MySpace.
Got Sherpas that take things to like
a GeoCities site.
Yeah, well, GeoCities.
Working on an Angel Fire just to get both markets in there.
Oh, have you worked on the Angel Fire?
Yeah, Yahoo groups.
I've got the little counter at the bottom of the page.
IRC.
We're up to 7. 7 on the bottom
ICQ.
There. ICQ. Ow!
Did you know I was on ICQ that early? I had like a 5-digit.
So was I.
Oh, there we
go. And yet we never met on there.
No.
And yet we never met on there.
No.
Anyway, I'm still Chris.
I'm still Kristie.
And we'll catch you all on Thursday night.
Ciao.